strangest moment. A couple of days ago, my daughter, who's 7, her name is Lucy. She was on YouTube on my phone, and she doesn't watch WWE. When we go to shows, she watches it, but she doesn't watch it on TV or on the tablets. But I caught her scrolling through your videos. And I was like, when I just watched her, I was like, I just want to watch and see what she's doing. And it'll all make sense in a minute. My daughter has super long hair, like super natural long hair, like past her waist long. And so I asked her, I was like, why are you watching this, Lucy? And she was like, because she has such pretty long hair like I do. She looks like a princess. I was like, if that is not the cutest thing in the world.
Oh my God, that makes me smile. That is so
like, that's
cute.
Awesome. And then another thing I came across, something that I want to know, this had to be the coolest feeling in the world for you. 2021's most tweeted about female athletes, and you were in the top 5. Is that crazy?
It's wild. Yeah, when I actually was on my way to the airport, so I think to go to one of the live events, and I saw it and I thought it was a fake like tweet, like a fake statistic, because I was reading it and I saw, okay, top 5 female athletes. Okay, Simone Biles, yeah, Naomi Osaka, Sasha Banks. Whoa, that's great. Wow, Serena Williams, Bianca. Wait, what? So I was really thrown off. And it's just an amazing feeling to see my name amongst those women, and to be recognized as an athlete and be recognized in the world of sports, being a part of WWE. So it was rocking me that day. And it still is.
The WWE Super Show Holiday Tour is going to be in Rockford on December 18th. You're going to be a part of it in a triple threat with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, which is going to be exciting to see. And I don't know if you know this, but Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch live not too far from here. So I'm interested to see how the crowd's going to react to all 3 of you at the same time. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, even with Becky, with her characteristics nowadays, with not being so great. Still some people that still cheer her, and then everybody loves Liv Morgan, and then people, I think they like cheering the EST chant in the audience. So it's going to be a real cool, fun dynamic, and I'm going to be interested to see how the crowd reacts to it.
Were you worried that the EST wouldn't transition from NXT to WWE's main roster? Did that cross your mind at all?
It never really crossed my mind.
Like, I'm going to own this and I'm taking it with me.
Yeah, I was like, it was the very first thing that I did in NXT, and it really just stuck, and it feels like such a part of me, and it really never crossed my mind, but I was very prepared to just to adapt. I felt like transitioning to Raw and SmackDown, I feel like I was just starting over. I think the biggest mistake is when you think that everyone knows you because of what you did at NXT, and in Raw and SmackDown, there's a bigger audience. And for me, I just wanted to reintroduce myself and start over and get people to know who the EST is and start from the very beginning. So I think that really helped me transition.
For me, the EST started when you did that 450 splash at the Mae Young Classic. I don't know why that still sticks in my head, but man, that was so perfectly executed. Your WrestleMania 37 moment. Did that ever in your wildest dreams? Did you have, like, some people have that, like, I'm going to do this. Some people are like, I want to do this, or I hope to do this, but it happened for you. What was the emotions like going into it? And did you reflect on it afterwards? Like, what was that transition like in your head? Like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. And then it happened.
For me, I think being in WWE, whenever someone asks what are your goals or what do you want to accomplish, everyone always says WrestleMania. Like, that's like the main goal, and above that is main event WrestleMania. And I think it becomes a thing of course you want it, but it's something that everyone just kind of says because that's kind of the given, and you kind of just say it. And it kind of changes when it comes from something that you say to all of a sudden now it's actually happening. And that moment for me was when I won the Royal Rumble, and I was so excited about winning the Royal Rumble and being the last woman standing out of all 30 women that I knew that winning the Royal Rumble meant that you went to WrestleMania, but I was so absorbed in the moment that I didn't, like, it didn't fully click for me because I kind of just focused on one thing at a time. I was like, win the Royal Rumble, let me focus on that. And then I won and I was excited. And then I looked to the left and I saw the WrestleMania sign. Then it clicked even further. Oh, you're going to WrestleMania. Wait, I'm going to WrestleMania? And then main eventing WrestleMania. So just the moment that Sasha Banks and I found out that we were going to main event, and I already knew the significance of that moment, knowing that it's going to be the first time that two Black females main event WrestleMania, and that I'm one of
That's
the black
incredible.
one of the Black females. It's an incredible feeling, and because it could have been anyone. There's so many women that paved the way before us, so it's just an amazing feeling. It was a little surreal for me, and I feel like there was so much buildup and anticipation for that moment. And so when the first time that I actually stopped moving was when we got in the ring together, and
Mhm.
that's the moment that everyone sees that when I get very emotional, because I'm
You
like,
did. You were super emotional. It was
yeah,
very touching and very real. It
yes.
was such a powerful moment just to watch. It felt like time stood still just for a moment when you started to get a little emotional. I'm like, that's what it's about. Like, that's passion right there. That's not cashing in a paycheck, you know?
No, definitely. That was all passion. And like I said, it was just so much anticipation and build up, and like, we're going to make history. Um, and then we were finally in that moment, and everything just, it finally hit me. I'm like, we're here. And the moment was so powerful because we didn't say one word. We hadn't locked up. We didn't touch each other. In the moment, just that moment alone,
Mhm.
so much history and the
Does it give you
unprecedented.
goosebumps? Because I just got chills thinking about
Actually, me too. So,
it.
and so it's just amazing. And I'm just so super blessed to be one of the women in a part of that moment with Sasha Banks.
WWE Super Show Holiday Tour, December 18th, BMO Harris Bank Center. Tickets starting at $15. Ticketmaster.com has them. Another very impactful moment was your trip to Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the way there? I mean, because we being the fans, we read things and we it's controversial to some people. It's not, but whatever you want to define it, it's groundbreaking for women to be able to do what you do in Saudi Arabia. That had to be another extremely powerful moment for you. Like, wow, this is surreal.
Yes, very, very, very surreal, a very powerful moment. And I just love that to be able to be a part of just unprecedented times, and things are changing, and to be a part of the changes that are happening over there. And I think, everyone talks about how it's great to be a woman and be in representation to little girls in Saudi Arabia, but I don't think it's said enough about the representation as women, for not just little girls to see, but for the little boys in Saudi Arabia to see.
Mhm.
I think that's just as important for not just the girls to see, but the little boys to see, because those boys grow up to be men, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's even, everyone leaves that out a lot. They talk about the little girls and the little girls seeing women in that position, but it's really cool for the little boys to see women in that position.
I never thought of that. I've never thought about that.
And it was really cool because I remember walking out in my entrance, and it was a little boy, and he had a sign, and had every single female that was on the card at Crown Jewel. He had a sign with all of our names on it.
Oh,
That really hit me.
yeah.
So I think it's just as important for the little boys to see it as much as the little girls too.
Are you still making your own in-ring gear? And if you are, when you come up, what inspires you? Because I know that I know that when you do big events, you do specific gear that you're going to wear one time only. How in the world, A, do you have time to do that? B, where do you get the inspiration from for some of this gear?
Yeah, so I make all of my own gear, and I try to make it for, I wear it one time for biggie moments, so that
Sure.
I that gear and get those same feelings. Um, Really, I just try to more so look at the theme of whatever the pay-per-view is, and try to stick with the theme and add my
Mhm.
little spin or twist to it. Sometimes it's just things that come out of nowhere. I just try to just stand out as much as I can and be as creative as much as I can. But I always try to have some type of theme to my gear. And it's a lot of times that I actually have gear and I wear it for just a random Monday Night Raw, and then I get this huge reaction from it, and people are like, "We love that gear." I'm like, "Oh, I should have saved it for a pay-per-view. I didn't realize it was that good." But it's really hard now because I'm on the road so much, so sometimes I have to try to take my sewing machine with me. We were at a super show, and we were backstage watching the other matches, and people were walking past me because I had a needle and thread in my hand. I was making my gear before I
Wow.
went out for my match and after my match, so I'm having to make gear in between shows now because I don't have a lot of time.
Well, we know you don't have a lot of time with us this morning. Thank you for taking time with us. Did you steal that idea? Did somebody motivate you to be like, hey, you should make your own ring gear, or your own gear, or have you always been the creative type to do that?
I've been sewing since I was a little girl. I used to make the track team. I used to make our outfits, CrossFit. I made my own outfits. That's how I got discovered by Mark Henry, because I wore tutus at CrossFit events and these crazy elaborate outfits. So I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I have this vision in my head that I can't communicate to someone else. And when I try to, they don't do it right. So I'm just like, I'll just do it myself.
We're so excited, A, that you're coming to Rockford, and B, it's in person. We're going to be together. It's exciting. It's Saturday, December 18th at BMO Harris Bank Center, the Super Show Holiday Tour with WWE. Bianca Belair, you are awesome. I can't wait for my daughter to watch this, to see the princess in person. Keep doing what you do. That whole point of teaching young boys about that females are just as good as men, if not better. That's so important. I never thought about that. And that's my takeaway from this today. And we can't wait to see you on Saturday.
All right. Thank you. I can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the audience.
You will. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Yeah.